So regarding languages with special forces, how does that even get brought up? Do you bring that up when you speak to a team that you're interested in, or like how do you make that choice, or they choose it for you?
The National Guard guys will know their language a little bit sooner, but for active duty guys, you will not find out your language until you finish Robin Sage. I remember it was such an exciting thing because after Robin Sage, you find out your language and you find out your group that you're going to. So you get your kind of orders to that, and then you'll spend the next 6 months in that language school. There's a test that you take, the D-Lab.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Like it sees like how compatible you are for languages.
Made up fucking test, dude.
Yeah.
Stupid test.
Most tests are.
Yeah, but this is like actually made up. Like there's basically no right answer. It's just, like pictures and shit, and you gotta like pick something.
Yeah.
I bombed it, dude. I did really, really bad on this test. And I ended up getting Spanish in 7th group, but I really wanted 10th and Russian. Like I really wanted to learn Russian. I've always been fascinated with the Russian language. But because I sucked at my D-Lab, I was in like the lower level, indicator of my ability to learn a language. So then I went in the office, I pled my case and ended up getting transferred into Russian and, performed pretty freaking well. Ended up leaving the course with a 2.2 and then on a team got my score up to a 2+, which is an advanced level. It's like a, like a C1 on the civilian scale. So pretty advanced level. And, but you will find out it's based on your D-Lab score primarily. And then you'll find out after Robin Sage what language you get, and then you go into language school. There is some leeway, like I said, to kind of plead your case. They might give you a transfer to a different group in a different language. They might not.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. And is Russian pretty difficult on that scale, or is it like more mid-tier, or where is it kind of at?
I think there's 4 tiers.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. Tier 1 is like Spanish, super easy. I think tier 2 is like French and Portuguese or something like that. Tier 3 is Russian, and then tier 4 is like Chinese and Arabic.
Okay.
So Russian is definitely on a higher scale, and it is harder to learn than Spanish for an English speaker. I don't think any language is inherently the hardest language to learn. It just depends on what your native language is.
Mm-hmm.
A Ukrainian or a Polish speaker is going to pick up Russian really easily, but they might struggle with English a little bit more.
Right.
So for an English speaker, Russian is considered a more challenging language,
mm-hmm.
which structurally it is, because they have a lot of different grammar rules. It's a very significantly different language, a lot different alphabet, etc. But for me, I think I excelled in it because I had a very high level of motivation and I was genuinely interested in it. Yeah. I think those are the two. Obviously you have to put in the action on a daily basis, do the right stuff, which is going to be more efficient than just doing random shit in the language. But I think if you have a high level of motivation and you have a high level of interest in a particular language, you can reach a high level, you can reach, get to the ability to speak with anybody comfortably in that target language.
And how do you maintain it now?
I listen to podcasts.
Okay.
So there's a good Russian podcast who I've been listening to him. He's like 350 episodes in now. I've literally been listening to him almost every week since his first episode. Mm-hmm. And it's called Russian with Max. And he kind of travels the world, talks about his life, talks about philosophy, talks about different, experiences, etc. But it's like a 30 to 40 minute monologue podcast. I think like now, if I really wanted to improve my Russian level, right? Like now I just kind of listen out of, interest and to maintain and things like that. But if I really wanted to improve my Russian level, I would probably listen to like back and forth conversations. However, that podcast is really good in the beginning because it's a monologue. And when you can hear one person speaking for a period of time, you can get accustomed to their speech and kind of, it's a little bit slower. It's not back and forth. You don't have a lot of filler words. It's clear. You can really increase your level of comprehension, which is going to transfer over to when you do back and forth podcasts. So I think podcasts in general is a really, really good way to, learn languages. And we can go down a freaking rabbit hole on this, but it all comes back to comprehensible input. Doesn't matter if it's a podcast, if it's a TV show, if it's freaking music, whatever. Like if it's some type of content where you can understand 50 to 60% of what is being said right off the bat, and you can kind of start filling in the gaps and notice different words, notice different sounds because you understand a baseline of what is being said, that is considered comprehensible input, and you will actually get value and increase your level from it. If you just listen to speech, let's say you're brand new to the Russian language, never learned any Russian in your entire life, and you start listening to native level speakers or Putin giving a speech to the nation, you're not going to get any value from it because none of it is comprehensible. So I always focus on comprehensible input, where it's like, just the same as lifting weights. It's like I'm looking for something slightly above my level and gradually increase it over time.
Don't
I'm not just going
cleans.
to, yeah, if you dive in,
Yeah.
like I tried it, right? Like the whole, you listen to this while you sleep and you're going to learn Russian, like all that's bullshit. Like if you don't understand anything, you have no way of even building context or filling in words that you don't know based off of the context of what is being said, you're not going to learn from it. So
Sure.
focus on comprehensible input. That means starting with beginner content and building up from there.
Yeah, love it. I know we've talked about it a couple of times before, but just in case someone's new to listening to this, what do you recommend someone who's never spoken another language? What is a way for them to get started, like today?
I recommend downloading the app Mango Languages. Using that for 6 weeks, you're going to do two things. One, you're going to develop the discipline and the habit of spending time, ideally 20, 30, 45 minutes a day in that language. And two, you're going to build a foundational knowledge in the language. After that 6-week period, then you can start introducing comprehensible input. Link, LINGQ, another platform, is really good for this. They have a series of short stories that you can start clicking through, learning the words, translating them, listening to them multiple times until you understand what is being said. And after that 6-week period, if you do 20, 25 minutes, so a lesson a day, knock out the spaced repetition flashcards inside your Mango app, and then start listening to the short stories until you understand them, and then gradually increase the difficulty of content with which you listen to, you will be in a good position 3-4 months from now and have a really solid foundation in the language. And then language learning gets fun. Because after you have a solid foundational language you can comprehend well, then you can start researching and watching YouTube videos, listening to topics that you're genuinely interested in that target language. And then when you go to speak to somebody and they talk back to you, you don't completely misunderstand or neglect what they said. So I recommend building a foundation through Mango, getting into Link or any other comprehensible input methods that you can after like that 6-8 week period, maintaining that for 4-6 months, and you'll have a solid foundation, and then you can branch out to more comprehensible input.